Hey guys, so I finally took these out and I put the suppressor on the full-size frame. Yes, they're the same. I'm going to show you what happened with this guy when I first tried to load him up. So first time I ever loaded this gun, it jammed up on me. It's not going to do it again, as I verified. I did just a regular, as you can imagine, I was racking the pistol. I'm going to show you exactly how I rack a pistol all the way back and release. When I did that, the round got caught up in the feed ramp, kind of like that. It was not a hollow point. Of course, I did end up cycling through about a box and a half of these, since it's what I was going to put in the gun. I wanted to verify that it is in fact going to cycle. So anyway, hand racking this gun, loading it for the first time, I had that little issue there. So give it the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, chances are it's never been fired, it's never even been loaded. I'm going to, shoot it, put it through the paces and see if it happens again. On my first trigger pull, it happened again. And I was really disappointed. I was like, okay, well, I don't like that. Of course, the gun was completely dry. I didn't lube it up. I didn't do anything to it. I pretty much out of the box, aside from swapping the trigger, putting the light on and the optic, and the little rubber grips. Not that that's going to affect anything. I took it straight out there. So again, it doesn't need cleaning, but it probably could have done with a little lubrication. Even though my Glock runs perfectly fine when it's dry. After that little hiccup, and I dropped the mag, slammed it back in, I put probably, I want to say 200 rounds through it without another issue. No other issues whatsoever. When I was done doing the 200 rounds of brass, I went through, these are smaller boxes, so I want to say maybe I put 30 of these hollow points through it. Cycled fine. I cycled these through my M&P 2.0 as well. Also about 30 or 20. Realistically, I already knew that the M&P 2.0 was going to cycle these because that was the ammo that I had in it already. But it's been in there for a little over a year, and I just thought it was a good time to cycle through all that ammo. So I shot these out of the M&P 2.0, and then I restocked the magazines when I got back home. This guy had no issues at all, start to finish. Didn't malfunction whatsoever. I did not run any hollow points through it.
You guys gotta be back and forth.
Loading.
Loading and loading.
So I'll tell you what, this one is unloaded, by the way, guys. I know you see that that one is loaded, and maybe you're thinking I'm gonna do something silly, but it's empty, okay? So the only other thing that I encountered, which was a little disappointing, and you know, it could very well vary from suppressor to suppressor, but I did run the Omega 36M on this. The can's going unattended. They said it would blow up. Yep. Oh, yeah. Same exact shit. That's the spent casing? Yeah, it sure is. It's not gonna cycle with this thing on. It won't cycle. Okay, so, and I'm gonna post some clips here in this video from that night. The Glock 17 cycles. It ejects the spent casing, and then it almost goes back into battery, and then I have to tap it back into battery. So probably a slightly, maybe 1 pound heavier recoil spring on my Glock 17, and that thing will cycle perfectly fine with the SilencerCo Omega 36M on it in the short configuration as I was shooting it yesterday, okay? This guy wouldn't even eject the spent casing, so it wasn't cycling back even enough to eject the spent casing. So pretty much it was a bolt action handgun, you know. Every shot I had to go and rack it, get the spent one out and put the new round in. I don't know why. I do have the, you know, Charlie housing with the piston, the spring, and all the correct parts in my suppressor to run it on a handgun. It's not like I just slapped it on there. So I'm not sure why. It'll take some tweaking. Realistically, I bought that suppressor for a rifle or two. Really, I bought it for my SBR. It's an AR, and for my bolt action 308. So I'm not that interested really in shooting the handguns with the can on them. I like drawing from holster, and that, you know, everything's just going to be more of a pain in the ass with the suppressor on it. And I'm still having to wear ears because the people at the range aren't shooting suppressed, you know, so it's just kind of all just for shits and giggles. So as I was saying, I'm sure it depends on what suppressor you have, but the suppressor height sights that come on these daggers are not tall enough to clear an Omega 36M. So I shot this guy blind pretty much. This one has an optic, so obviously I can shoot that one, and I did, and it shot fine. Or rather, I'm sorry, not this one. My Glock 17 is the one that also has an optic, which I was shooting with the can on it. That's the footage you'll see. It's just a Gen 3 Glock 17. This boy is hot again. It's gonna go right back in a holster here in a second. So that's what I wanted to report on, guys. And if you have any advice, so here's the thing: I was gonna swap these sights out. I have this old set that came off of someone's Glock that they left here at my house, and I was like, you know what? I'm definitely gonna like those more than these. And then I was like, oh, well, I'm going to put the suppressor on this guy, so let's just rock these. And then I show up and I can't use them anyway. And I was like, well, damn, I could have been shooting it with these sights. And this trigger shoe, I'm not going to say where I got this, because after I told them that the trigger did not reset 100% of the time, which that one does and the factory one does, they told me, you know, they gave me a full refund and they let me keep the trigger. So I think I'm gonna do a little bit of troubleshooting. I'm gonna drop this back in there, see if I can figure out what's going on, what's causing that, because I do like the shape of the shoe, and realistically it's the only reason that I'm even considering pulling all these pins back out again, because I'm fairly content with the Glock trigger in there. It's really not bad. I actually enjoyed shooting this gun a lot. The guy that I took out with me shot this, well, no, he shot my Staccato P more than this, but this was his second one go-to. He thought the Apex trigger on the M&P 2.0 was too light, and he was almost a little scared of it. So, but I'm gonna try and do a little troubleshooting on this guy and see if we can get it to run reliably. I mean, you know, it's not a carry gun or a nightstand gun. It's just kind of a range toy. So if it malfunctions, you know, it'll be just at the range, plinking or whatnot. And of course, I'll just come back and either pop the shoe off and drop it on this trigger bar, or just, you know, get rid of it and keep the Glock one on there. I guess I'm gonna get the sights done on this before I head back inside. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any comments, if you have any advice for getting these guns to cycle with the can on them a little better or at all, I'm always open to suggestions. You know, drop a comment, and stay safe out there, guys.